Now that we've integrated Champion products into our daily routine, let's talk about something very important: motivation. Our motivational tip for playing harder is visualization.
Oh, that's a huge one for me.
You love it.
I don't think I'd get out the door much without my visualizing. I think it's kept me going for a long, long time. I love to almost play games in my head. You know, I love to look at things, look at an event maybe 6 months down the track, or whatever is important to me, an event that's coming up, or a game, or whatever I'm doing. And I like to study the course, study the venue.
Keeps you focused.
Have an idea of the conditions. Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be wet? Or, and then really have an idea of who I'm playing against. Mm-hmm. You know, who am I competing against, and understand how they might do the event themselves.
Yeah.
Then I take all of that back to the training workout I'm about to do, and even before I start the workout, I'll have an idea of how that game is going to play. And I'm always making sure that I'm successful. You know, I'm not overly realistic. I make sure that I have a bit of fun with it, that I see myself, you know, charging to the finishing line with a dramatic sprint, even if I don't have much of a sprint. You know, I'm always playing these kind of games in my head to keep myself excited and, like you said,
push through the pain even?
And push through the pain. Well, I think you're right there. I think what happens is, you know, we all often talk about the physical or the mental approach, but there's an emotional approach to sport as well, and activity as well. And I think what happens is when you visualize really well, it lifts your emotions, it lifts your spirits, it makes you feel good about yourself. And when you see yourself being successful, it really allows, I think, the physical body to follow suit. You know,
Absolutely.
You start to feel that excitement. And I think that's important for everyone that has a goal out there, no matter what the goal is. Visualize yourself being successful every single day in that approach to getting there. And it's amazing how powerful visualizing is.
Well, even doing that, I think often people have spoken about not being able to win. And I think if you visualize a lot about how being in that position and taking the win on, you know, when it does happen on the day, you're actually ready for it.
Well, that's
you
a
know,
really
you don't
good point.
freeze up and you don't, you know,
I think when I was a younger athlete, and there was a few times there where suddenly I'm in the lead and I'm about to win my event, it's almost scary. Because you're not ready for it, and you're now leading this race, and maybe the cameras are on you, and it's a big feeling or whatever it is, and you almost start to tense up and freeze because you're not ready for it. But visualizing yourself for that event and visualizing that moment where you're going to be successful allows you to relax into it. You know?
Definitely. I mean, I've used visualization in a little bit more of an intrinsic way before. Mm-hmm. You know, I find that if I've taken my body through, place myself in the race, you know, in training, and then think about how I would feel during the race, find the cues to get me through that point. You know, when things start to get tough, when I am racing, then I know where to go when you know, the competition is really tough and the pain sets in. I mean, a lot of times when you are competing, you get distracted, or the pain's so much that you want to just stop, and so you have those cues of just getting through that next step and, you know, keeping the motivation alive even in the race.
Well, that's just it. I mean, you've hit a good point there. You know, you've sort of internally visualizing, you're thinking about how you're going to feel specifically, whereas I'm looking externally and how others and the conditions might be affecting me. And visualizing is great for anybody. I mean, you know, anybody that's wanting to play their sport, whether it's a basketball or volleyball or any kind of sport that you're playing.
Even a 30-minute run.
Even a 30-minute run.
Your daily routine.
It's a great way to see yourself being successful in the final day and using that for individual training days, but even on the day itself, the day that you have your goal, you're ready for it because you feel like you've already been there maybe 1,000 times before. And it's a great way to stay excited.
Definitely, definitely. In order to play harder, our main tip is visualization. Not only does it help you see your goals, but it keeps you entertained. Now let's go get fueled up to play harder.